Yes, people, what is going on? Good to see you. The first proper video on this channel that is not one of a podcast, and it has come with the news that Liam Rosenior has been sacked by Chelsea, and I cannot believe it has come. I'll be honest with you, I wanted it to come. I really liked Liam Rosenior as a person, and I still do very much. I see the banter and stuff that he gets online and all the stuff that goes around. But I think as an individual, I like how he is. I like how he presents himself. I just think the job was too big for him, and I think he was out of his depth. So having said all of that, I didn't think the club would do it. I didn't think Chelsea would actually go through and do it. Of course, reacting to this news as a Chelsea fan, despite not wearing a Chelsea shirt. But I mean, this news is big for the club. I mean, Callum McFarlane is going to get it for the rest of the season. He is the under-21s manager, I believe it is. It might be under-23s. I believe it's under-21s. But he did well when he came in before, in the uncertainty when it came to Maresca. And let's be honest, I think now the board has sort of realised, and I think the tide might be turning at Chelsea. We start to see a different side of the ownership. And I think it's a good thing for everyone involved. I really do. I think the way that Chelsea are running the football club at the moment is not the way that it should be run. I think it's a big problem. I think in terms of this ownership style and the things that they want to do, very similar to American sports and how it works there. That's not how football is. That's not how you can win competitions, win big trophies and compete at the top level as a football club. And I think that it was a really telling sign in that Club World Cup where clearly the ownership went, we have to invest to win this. And we all forget about João Pedro's transfer. When he came in during the Club World Cup, he got himself fit as instantly as he possibly could. And he was brilliant for Chelsea in those last two games, especially. But for me, I think that might have been the point where Chelsea went, yeah, we really have to go for this and we have to have this opportunity, grab it with both hands and see where it leads us. And I think it was sort of smart from the ownership in that sense to go and do that. But then it just comes around to the point of, if they did that a year ago to go and win that Club World Cup, which some people deem as as an irrelevant trophy anyway, in the grand scheme of things, for me as a Chelsea fan, it was a great day, great occasion. I really liked it, so I'm holding it close to my heart. That's a personal thing. I think it would be the same if any particular club won it. But I think that to invest in that competition, to go and win it, to then have the bragging rights and everything that then comes with it, I think the problem you've then got when you go back to doing this, yet we're also going to go and buy a load of youngsters and we're going to try and develop, and then we're going to sack the manager when he has got the first offer and he's told you about it, which was the case with Maresca, which I never understood that sacking. But again, the board clearly fell out with him and he fell out with them, although I don't think he did anything wrong. That's a different thing for a different time. He never should have gone, and I think now this is the point where I think Chelsea can accept the fact that they have made a massive error in getting Liam Rosenior in, and I think that they need to move forward as a football club. And I think the only way that they can do it in a way that's actually going to be sustainable as a football club is to start giving the reins over to people that know how to run football. In terms of the sports business side and the branding and all the things that come with it, yeah, for me, they seem to be doing a great job. We seem to be getting some good opportunities. Still need to get a proper sponsor on board, but we'll go into that, down the line in terms of Chelsea, because that's not something that's a priority as of right now for the rest of the season. It will be in the summer. But I think that when you start thinking about the World Cup coming up, you start thinking about who's going to be moving, who's going to be wanted. I think you have to sort of agree this manager early doors. I think the players need to know who's coming in next season, who's going to be that manager. And I think you've got to get to a point where actually you're starting to think about, well, who's going to be available? Who are the names that we know that on, the 1st of August next year are going to be unemployed, as of right now? Or who can you get potentially away? I still think the person that we sort of know, sorry, bloody freeze now here. The person that we know we can actually get, because he is going to be a free agent in the summer, is going to be Diego Simeone. I think that's a really big name that I think a lot of the fans will start to get on board with. Been around Atletico a long time, understands that, it is a bit of a project at times. He's dealt with financial restrictions there and certain circumstances. He hasn't had it all his own way. And yes, fine, ultimately, I think probably the end of their relationship came at the right time in terms of football manager football club. But I think that realistically, actually, that means that Diego Simeone is going to be as passionate to go and find that new project as he was when he found Atletico. And I think that we really could be a football club that would be a great fit for him. I really do. I mean, there's other names that are going to get thrown out there. Do they try and go for the popular vote? Do they go for someone like Jose Mourinho back on board at Chelsea? I don't know. I'd love to see a few different people in the dugout next year, Cesc Fabregas being another one. But Liam Rosenior, clearly out of his depth at Chelsea, and although I do like him as an individual, again, he was put in with an impossible task, and he was sort of fed to the dogs, genuinely, by the owners. That's how it feels. I think the ownership needs to, again, take a long, hard look at themselves. But Chelsea as a football club, I genuinely have to say, I feel like it's got better today with Liam Rosenior leaving. And I know that sounds harsh on Liam Rosenior, don't get me wrong, there's other things that are wrong at the club. The investment has been poor, and the ownership and various different things. We'll go into that another time. But it looks like the end of the season for Chelsea is going to be a bleak one, but with a massive FA Cup semi-final on the horizon. I feel like Chelsea fans will have a little bit more confidence now, knowing that Liam Rosenior isn't going to be in charge, which is mental as it sounds. But I think realistically, although we're going to have an under-21s manager for the rest of the season, who has had, I think, 2 Premier League games when he was last with us, which I have to say one of them was a 1-1 draw away at Man City, which was quite impressive, I must admit. But I think realistically Chelsea still got better as a football club because Liam Rosenior has gone. But it was more so to do with the fact that the ownership is going to realise now that actually the way that we want to do it isn't going to work at certain times, and actually the understanding and the knowledge. Unfortunately, it's Liam Rosenior who's been sacked and who's lost his job. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's going to have a great payout. I think he had a contract until 32 or something like that as well, so he's going to be absolutely fine. But unfortunately, it's his head that rolled, but it's more to do with what that means for Chelsea as a football club now moving forward. And I think it's a step in the right direction because the board are now serious. Because I think there was a few people that have been talking about it for a while, and now they've bitten the bullet. And I just feel like it's the right move for Chelsea. I really do. And, you know, there'll be a lot to talk about when it comes up, managerial wise, and what's going to go on in the next couple of weeks and months. But yeah, definitely for Chelsea a good day to get rid of Liam Rosenior. Just unfortunately, it seems to be a nice bloke that's head's had to roll. But either way, it's an exciting time to be a Chelsea fan as of right now. And I know that sounds bad, but it's more to do with the shift in mentality that comes from the football club. That is something that gives us hope, and I think that's something that a lot of Chelsea fans just want a glimmer of and haven't had it for a long time. Either way, I'm going to round off this video here. Thank you for watching. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. There is a lot of football coming up and a lot of stuff we're going to talk about, and I'll be doing more of these videos as and when things come up and pop up. But this being the first one, great to see how well the channel is doing, and I'm very, very happy to be back. Make sure you subscribe. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.